I welcome you all to this video. For people that have not subscribed yet, please do subscribe so that you don't miss out on the interesting aspects that we discussed on this channel. So in this video today, we're going to be looking at the fractions that involve factorization. Okay, so when questions are asked, they're not going to tell you, oh, these are fractions that involve factorization and blah, 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 blah. You just have to know, okay, when you say trinomial, when you see two terms and there's something common, and in most cases, okay, for great tense, for as long as it's a question that is dealing with fractions, what must come into your mind should be factorization, okay? So what are the nuggets of working around this? Number one, we need to factorize where possible. So in this essence, we're gonna use the different methods that we discussed, okay? So we said, remember, we have the common factors, the change of sign, the difference of two squares, the quadratic trinomial, and then the difference and the sum of two cubes, and even the grouping, okay? It's all possible. And then what will be left will be just the application of the fractions, the knowledge of the fractions, okay? So factorize where possible, and then two, use the LCD whenever possible. So LCD or LCM will only be applicable where we have a plus or minus in between the fractions. Then we shall use the plus or minus. Other than that, we're just gonna do the multiplication. So just to remind ourselves of what happens, okay? So if we have, let's say, A over C times D over E, when we multiply this, it will be A times D. In other words, we look at the numerator separately and the denominator separately. So that's gonna be AD over CE. So that is if you're dealing with the multiplication. If you're dealing, let's say, with the division, okay, sometimes they can even ask you the division. The division simply tells us that we cannot divide fractions manually, okay? So what happens that we need to change the sign to a multiplication. So it's A over C times the E over D. So when you change the sign to multiplication, you must also swap this around. You must use the multiplicative inverse of this fraction there. All right, so that is to do with the multiplication and the division. Now, if it is addition and subtraction, find the LCD. What I usually tell my students is this. Okay, let's say if you have A over C plus D over E, just apply the crisscross very fast. You will not waste time. Some people struggle to get the LCDs and LCM. Those are things of grade 7s and 8s, okay? But still, we can apply them here. Just use the crisscross. That's gonna be A times E, which is AE, plus this plus sign. C times D is a CD over C times E, which is a CE. So we're gonna use this for our fractions that have the plus signs. Now let's get into the games, okay? So part A, we have 5 minus 15x times, we're seeing this whole thing. So let's see, with this first fraction, I can see something common, okay? Okay, so I'm gonna take out the 5, because I see 5 is common. I'll be left with 1 minus 3x, okay? Then over, this is a 3x squared minus 10x plus 3. This is a trinomial, so I'll use my product and the sum and all of those things, okay? So then I'll have something like 3x. This will be x. Then for me to get a negative 10 and a positive 3, my focus should be on a 3. How do I get a 3? If I put a 3 here and I put a 1 here, okay, because it will be 3x times 3, that's going to be like 9x, and then that's also x. For me to get this positive, I can use 2 negative signs. Perfect. Very beautiful. Now I'll put my multiplication sign. This is also a trinomial on top. So my 2 brackets, for me to get x squared will be x and x, and then negative 15 and the 2 is going to be, I have a 5 and a 3. Let me use 5 and negative 3. So that's a plus 5 minus 3. Then this is over. This one is already factorized for us. All right. Then from there, what I can notice is that there are things that are common on top and more or less the same at the bottom. Okay. So when I look at this bracket, it looks more or less the same as this bracket here, the 3x minus 1. So which means if I apply the change of sign, then I should be able to take out these brackets, okay? So what this is gonna become is gonna be the 5 into 3x minus 1, but this 5 is gonna be negative, okay? So if that is correct, so I'm ignoring that. If that is correct, then this 3x will cancel the 3x minus 1. Then this x minus 3 cancels the x minus 3. The x plus 5 goes with the x plus 5. So with the numerators, I'm only going to be left with negative 5 over denominators. I have a negative 10. So you can see this whole complicated thing has just reduced to something small like this. I mean, life is not fair. All right, so negative 5, negative 10, that's going to give us just a half. Then that is our answer. So guys, that is how easy it is. So in just 3 steps, you'll have your answer. And these questions, minimum can be just 4 marks, but maximum, we can even go up to 6 or 7 marks, okay? Depending on the day. Part B, let me use this page. So we have 9 minus x squared, okay? 9 minus x squared over, we have 5, okay? That's correct. Times, no, it's not a times, it's a division. Hey, Bana, okay? So that's a division, okay? 3x minus 9, 3x minus 9 over, this is gonna be a 15. All right, so one thing we said first was we can't divide fractions, né? So we need to change the sign. So I prefer changing that sign and everything before I start with a factorization. So it's gonna be 9 minus x squared over 5 times 15 over 3x minus a 9. Then I can go ahead and do the factorization. So with this top fraction there, that numerator, with this numerator, it's a difference of 2 squares, which is the same as 3 minus x, and then 3 plus x. Now, pay attention to what comes first. In this case, it's the number that is coming first, which means even within our answers, it should be the number that comes first. If the variable came first, then our answer should also be the same, variable coming first. So this is over 5, then times 15 over what is common there, it's a 3. We have x minus 3. Good. Now, what I can notice, because you also have to keep noticing what is happening, what's going to cancel out what between the numerators as well as the denominators. Okay, so we can see that the 3 minus x kindly links with the x minus 3. So let's take out the negative sign, okay? So that's going to be negative into x minus 3 into 3 plus x. We know that 3 plus x is the same as x plus 3, okay? And then that's going to be a plus 15, sorry, times 15. Then over 5 and 3, that's going to be 15 into x minus 3. This was not necessary, né? Because you could even have canceled out things at this level and then you take out the negative sign. So this 15 is going to cancel the 15. The x minus 3 is going to cancel the x minus 3. And then my answer is going to be negative 3 plus x, okay? Feel free to even simplify it further if you want to negative 3 minus x if you want. But even this bracket is just fine. All right. So having said that, having discussed that, then we look at our next question. All right. Our next question, which is the last one, which is C. So in this case, we have a squared plus a over a squared minus 1 plus 2a squared plus 3a minus 5 over 5 plus the 2a. So still, this is a plus, okay? Remember we said if we have a plus, then we have to apply the LCD or the LCM. Now, we said we're not gonna waste time with finding the LCM of these variables, and I mean starring and even confusing. So we're gonna apply the crisscross, that and that and that, since it's a plus. So then I'll have a squared plus a, okay? I'm multiplying it with 5 plus 2a, because this times that. Then I'll say plus. This is going to be a squared minus 1 multiplied by 2a squared plus 3a minus 5 over, all over, this is a squared minus 1 into 5 plus 2a. All right, then what is happening? We just need to factorize this further. Let's see. If I look at this first bracket, there's something common, which is the a. Let me use a different color. I mean, this question deserves like 8 marks. Like, really? It's looking complicated, okay? A into a plus 1. This is 5 plus 2a, okay? This plus, this is the difference of two squares, a minus 1, and then a plus 1. Then when I look at this, it's a trinomial, okay? So I'll have my 2a there, and then I can have the a. For me to get a negative 5, I must use a 1 and a 5. 1 and a 5, 1 and a 5. If I put a 5 here, won't that be complex? That's gonna seem to be complex and complicated. So I cannot use a 5 there for now. Let me see. If I put a 5 somewhere here, I think it will make life a bit easier. Because that's gonna be, okay, we said it's a 5 and a 1. All right. So it's gonna be 2a squared. This is gonna be a 2a, which is positive. This is a 5a, which is also positive. We need a negative, no, we need a positive 3a. So which means the 5 is that. This is a negative. So I'll put a negative and then I'll put a plus there. Beautiful. Then over, we can just simplify this also. A minus 1, a plus 1 into 5 plus 2a. All right. Then having said that, remember we have a plus sign here. So we cannot cancel things out on J. We have to factorize, okay? We have to take out what is common. All right, let me borrow some space from, where am I borrowing space? Hello. I need to be on the same page, otherwise I'm gonna lose myself, okay? No, it's okay, let me borrow the space up there, it's okay. Okay, let me take that space up. Let's use this one, okay. So from here, I can see that this a plus 1, this is a plus 1. 5 plus 2a is the same as 5 plus 2a. So these two brackets are the same, okay? So I'll factorize them out and say a plus 1 as well as 2a plus 5. Then what am I gonna be left with here? It's just a lonely a, okay? And then I have this plus sign. In this case, I've removed this, I've removed that. Then I have just a minus 1, a minus 1. Do I need to open that up? A minus 1, a minus 1, is it gonna make sense really? That's gonna be, it's not a big deal. Let me just leave it as a minus 1 squared. Yeah, for now. Then over these same things, that's gonna be a minus 1, then it's gonna be a plus 1, and then 5 plus 2a. Good. So now it is party time. It's time to party. But I might have left out something. So this cancels that. This cancels that. All right. Then now I can go to the other page and see how I can simplify this further. So I have a, okay, plus a minus 1 squared over a minus 1. I mean, that's what is left, because this big bracket and then this one. Let me try to open this up and see. So a plus, that's gonna be a squared minus 2a plus 1 over a minus 1. I don't know whether it will give me more or less the same thing. So this and that is gonna give me a plus, no, it's just a minus a. So it's a squared minus a plus 1 over a minus 1. Can I simplify this further? No, I can't. So which means this is just our answer, guys. Whatever is left. So this bracket, okay, over the a minus 1 becomes our final answer. If there's anybody that really manages to simplify that further, please let us know in the comment section. So a plus a minus 1 squared over a minus 1. So this becomes our answer. I mean, this question, deserves 7 marks, guys. Oh, please and please just try whatever you can. Do not skip questions. Do not skip questions. For people that have not yet subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe so that you don't miss out on the best videos that will be coming or following within the coming topics. Okay, let's meet again. Cheers.